I'm Dr. Cindy Davis Evans with The Cindy Davis Show. My guest today is a notable New York real estate executive, here to talk about how she is making an impact in the real estate industry. She is CEO of Foxworth Realty. Welcome to the show, Miss Eugenia Foxworth. Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you? You're so beautiful.
Oh, so are you. Thank you so much for coming onto the show and sharing with us. You have such a wonderful, interesting background. I just kind of want to touch on that before we get started about your career. You grew up. You have a unique background. You were reared in London and you moved to Philly. Was there what type of culture shock was that for you?
Philadelphia was the ultimate shock.
Yeah, I bet.
I went from the UK, and in those days, there weren't a lot of us running around to a
Uh-huh.
Black neighborhood.
I
and
bet.
Yeah, it was different. But I went initially. I went to a private Catholic girls' school. So, it
Uh-huh. So
was
how was that?
different.
It was different. It was different. And what did you have to learn? How was it different for you?
Well, if you grow up eating, speaking a certain way, and,
Mhm. Yeah.
culturally, it was a shock
Yeah.
because my mother's African American, my
Mm-hmm.
father is white British, and we grew up in a different type of neighborhood. My mother was middle class, and it was typical, but I was accustomed to certain things. I was accustomed to, my dad started taking me to tea when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
And in Philadelphia, tea was like, okay, we'll make it on the stove and drink it there.
Yeah.
It wasn't, the same. I mean, that's one thing. And the neighborhood was different. Not that there was anything wrong with my mother's neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's just that it was a different neighborhood. It had been Italian, and
Mm.
then it became Black. So it was different, but I love the kids.
Yeah.
Well, some of them, the one that didn't beat me up, I liked.
Oh, I heard
Yeah,
you got your
I was,
revenge though, huh?
yeah, I was strange to them because I had a very heavy accent. And
Ah,
then I dressed differently.
yeah.
Then, for example, one of the kids, when I was visiting my mother before, my father decided I needed a woman in my life,
Yeah.
one of the kids said, "Oh, my mother's, the stork is bringing a baby." And I said, "Birds don't bring babies." That whole time I was with my mother, I had no friends because their parents thought that I was fresh.
Yeah.
So it's, different things like that.
Yeah, yeah, I bet that was difficult for you. Now you went on to college and you got your civil engineering degree, but you never
Hmm.
pursued that.
No, I mean, I never, it was boring.
Mhm.
I'm not one to sit in a place and do certain things. Yes, I'm quite capable of it, as I am of other things. But the only reason I got a full scholarship to go there, and the reason I got that scholarship to avoid leaving class when the children, the students left, I wanted to go in the opposite direction because
Uh,
I ended up going to a public school that the last 2 years because my choice. And so I went in the opposite direction than
mhm.
they were going. And I received a full scholarship doing the extracurricular activity. So that's how I got the, the degree, which was fine.
Absolutely. But you went from a stewardess, airline stewardess to real estate executive? How did you go from stewardess to real estate?
Um, I opened up a fine art gallery.
Ah,
I love art.
mm-hmm.
And as a flight attendant, I would go to um, different places, and I loved art. And I became ill, and the doctors did not know what caused it. And they thought I picked up a virus. And they said I would never, ever be able to do the same thing. So I opened up an art gallery as a flight attendant while ill. And then when I had flooding in my gallery, which was on 65th between Madison and Park, I ended up trying to get real estate agents to find me another space. And they took me every place but the right one. That's how I ended up in opening up an art gallery. And then after the art gallery, I decided to get my own license. That's the transition. I went to NYU, did an accelerated course in 1 week, and I got my license. And then afterwards, I didn't know I could not work without a broker. So I ended up working with a brokerage company. And I thought, well, this could be good because I couldn't do it myself, buying or renting a space. And I said, I can get fine art. That's how I went. That was my transition to real estate.
Wow. So that flooding was a blessing in disguise, but you weren't happy with the real estate uh, agents that you were encountering. So you decided to go and start your own real estate company and try to make a difference.
Well, no, I became an agent, and then I started in 2000. In 2008, I decided to hang my own shingle and open up my own company.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I wasn't pleased with where I was,
Right.
and that's how that happened. But no, I did not like the real estate agents that were taking me every place but where I desired to be.
What type of agent, real estate agent, should we be looking for? Is there
You
any?
need you need to look for a real estate agent that has your interests in mind, that will listen. And
Okay.
and because not just to, okay, you say, oh, I want this. Well,
Yeah.
where do you want to live? What
Mm-hmm.
is your criterion? What
Mm-hmm.
area? What floor? What is it that you do? Do you need to be near a subway, etc.? That's priority. Then when you find the place, you need
Mm-hmm.
someone that will work with you from the beginning of the process until the end when you close the deal. So that's what I do. I try to give someone what they want, not what I think they want. And that's what makes a good agent or broker.
Absolutely, I agree. And so when it comes to people who may be facing foreclosures, what advice would you have to give them? Because you've helped people, you're not only just in real estate agent, you've helped people to save their homes as well.
Yes, because I knew the business. I learned the business. And
Yeah.
so what I discovered is that some people professionals did not tell people. For example, if you're doing a brownstone, you've got to keep up your mortgage. If you have, liens and on your property or different things, you
Mhm.
can lose it. You've got to pay. So what I do is I get people to rent a space in one of the buildings that my clients have, their brownstone townhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and they pay the rent. But what I do is it shows on my website, it shows the court that these people are trying, because banks do not want to own a property. So that's what I do. It's there. The papers are there. The banks see that they're trying to rent. And actually, they usually do. And that's the best way. No one wants to own the property. And
No.
going into foreclosure, there's a step before that, short sales.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, a short sale is when you don't pay and the bank allows you to sell, but you have to sell above whatever the mortgage is that you owe them. And just like in foreclosure, all the people that you owe money to get paid. So a short sale, you have time to get it out there and sell, and it sort of saves you, and it doesn't show the other things.
I see. I see. So, tell us about your real estate company. Why did you open a real estate company in Harlem, New York?
Well, the bottom fell out of real estate in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to open up in Midtown.
Yeah.
And someone said, I have a place for you. And that's how I ended up in Harlem. And I fell in love with Harlem. Yes. So I fell in love with Harlem. I think my first couple of weeks, I went to an event.
Mm-hmm.
And I met different people. And I met a group, the Uptown Dance Academy, the founder. And these were young children that were performing the Black Nutcracker. And I love kids. And I said, oh, how do I get involved? That was the beginning. I eventually ended up on the board for 2 years. And during that period, Prince gave us $250,000. Misty Copeland was our prima ballerina. We performed at the Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
I got people to come from all over that had no idea. My clients, my friends, they had no idea about it. So that was the beginning. And since then, I'm involved with I'm a senior advisor for the Harlem Business Alliance. It's just an interesting time. I've sponsored things. The most recent, not most recent, I do it every year, but this year I was the primary. It was the 51st annual Harlem Bicycle Classic, and we have it every Father's Day. And I've sponsored, but this year I went all out and became the primary sponsor.
Wow, wow. You've done so much in the community, and you are also working with Real Estate in Action. Is that a annual event?
No, that's the UN.
Oh.
I was appointed as a NGO, non-government organization delegate for FIABCI, the International Federation of Real Estate. I
Mm-hmm.
was appointed as a delegate. And we are involved with, before the buzzwords, affordable housing and all of that. We've been doing that since 1951, after the war. It was formed in Europe.
Okay.
And so this was for sustainable cities and counties. And we all came together to show how to do, various things and discuss it. The UN had a political session, and we are a partner. And we now are the only ones that has a global charter with the UN. And this will help people know how to save their properties, how to live within their properties, how to sustain their properties.
Absolutely. Wow, that's a wonderful thing. Um, can you tell us about what does FIABCI stands for, which you are the first African American to be appointed as the head, the president?
Yes, I was elected by my colleagues. We're in 70 countries.
Oh, okay.
FIABCI, FIABCI is the acronym for the International Real Estate Federation. And
Okay.
we're 73 years old.
Wow. How does one
Yes.
become a member of that?
You can just pay membership. If you're
Okay.
in any aspect, seriously, any
Uh-huh.
aspect of real estate, whether you're an attorney, financial advisor,
Hmm.
surveyor, purveyor, developer, um, you can, I mean, there are 40 different um, professions within. So it leaves it open. Interior decorator, it's
So anybody is open to anybody who's willing to pay.
not really. You've got to be involved in real estate.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Every aspect of it. No, not everybody.
Yeah.
That's why the USA, I was the president of the USA. We have only 300 members.
Wow.
And but there are about 3,000 members worldwide. Everyone is known, like worldwide. We we work with developers. We are advisors to the UN doing consultation,
Yeah.
whether it's water, like we have a shortage now. But I think in 2000 and I think it was 8 or 7, we
Hmm.
did a whole thing on water at the UN, and people submitted their projects. So it's a
Wow.
different, we're not the ordinary type.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to real estate, what would you like to see changed in the real estate industry?
I would like, but it's got to change all over. I would like to see the lack of greed. I
Uh,
would like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm on the, that I was appointed to be a trustee on the FIABCI World um, Scholarship Foundation, which enables us to give scholarships to students. If we have one professor in a school, those students can take the information back within their community. The
mhm.
government cannot own property unless one thing, and that's taxes. And just like I said, a lot of foreclosures come because people don't pay taxes, even with condos.
Mhm.
You get something inexpensively. And that's what we need. We need the community to be educated. Once educated, then it will be more helpful. And I would like the diversification. I like people to know that we're all the same. I don't like the fact that if you choose to live in your own area, that's fine. If you choose to move somewhere, I want everyone to have equal rights. That's what I'd like to see in real estate. And that's worldwide. It's not just in the United States.
Oh, okay. That's a beautiful thing. Um, you know, why is it so important for uh you to offer these scholarships to these colleges? Is it your hope that they will go back into the community to give back and to help those who
Yes,
may not be able to get affordable housing?
it's not just because we give scholarships all different levels of finance, that go. No, I just feel that even if they don't go back into their communities, they
Okay.
can tell other people
Uh,
and you pass it on to save the properties. Look what's happened in Harlem. Okay. I was not aware there were so many people that didn't own their brownstone. you know, you need a house
Yeah.
and you need a phone if you need a job, if you're trying to get a job. You don't need the electricity. Houses are the mainstay since the days of old that we weren't aware of. Everybody had a house. The Indians had a tent.
Yeah. It
They
it
owned.
it definitely is necessary. You got to have some place to live.
Mhm.
But when the society makes it hard on people of color, especially to get affordable housing, it just makes it difficult, and all the stumbling blocks and everything. I would hope that we could, try to get past that. Like what you were saying. I think the bottom line is because of greed that they're not allowing these people to get affordable housing.
And racism.
Racism, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, it's still happening today. It's still
Mhm.
happening today. You've done so much in your career and in your life. What would you inspire women who aspire to go into real estate or to start their own company?
Well, if that's in their heart, do
Mm-hmm.
it. Don't listen to people saying, oh, you can't, or it is hard. If it's something you want to do, find a way. Never let someone tell you no. And like I always say, God is my bank.
God is your
I,
bank.
God is my bank.
I like that because you know what? When you think about it, He owns everything, and if you have Him, you have everything, right?
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. What is something that you would like to leave with us in regards to real estate, housing, art, music? You also have a YouTube channel that you
Yes.
post as well. And do you talk about any of these issues as well on your YouTube channel?
I actually have guests.
Oh, okay.
I invite the guests to the Foxworth theory,
Uh-huh.
and they're in art, business, entertainment, and fashion.
Yeah.
And they tell their stories. I don't talk about it, they talk about it.
Yeah.
I get the education, and my audience does as well.
Yeah. That's
Sometimes it is someone like developers, they talk about it. That's my president's circle
oh,
where I have the people on speaking.
absolutely. That is wonderful. You have done some of everything. What is it that you have yet to do or to accomplish?
Nothing
You've done it all.
to do. I've never had a bucket list.
Yeah.
I'm just very spontaneous,
Oh, okay.
and then I do things. But I have been doing this since I was a child, just like I give back.
Yeah.
I used to give away my clothes and toys to people.
Oh, wow.
They liked it. So for me, I'm just Eugenia, and most people know how I am as far as what I do. You can give back not just material things, you
Yeah.
can give back things that you have. And I
Oh,
mentor people of all ages. I think the oldest one now is 48 years old.
oh, wow.
It's giving back too. So that's really do what you want. Don't let anyone say no. And
Okay.
if I could do it before the internet, the
Yeah.
younger generations should surely do it now. They've got the tools.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Well, this has been some fascinating conversation, and thank you for sharing with us and offering your input and your inspiration. How would you like to be remembered? What would be your legacy?
My legacy would be, because I never thought of legacies, I live it. So
Okay.
I would never say, I want to see what is going on. I want to see what is happening now. And just like I say, I do a lot of philanthropic things. I see my legacy as I live with my own eyes. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. You have a building and there's a name on the building. and people don't even know who that person is. Right now,
Yeah.
I know who I am. I know where it's going, and those who encounter me know what I do. That's my legacy.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Eugenia. It's been a pleasure.
You too.
And I want to thank you for watching the Cindy Davis Show. Until next time, God bless.